What are you doing? I'm trying to change the channel. The flower channel sucks. With the salt shaker. Yes, with the salt shaker. Good lord, am I the only one that has common sense in this house? This has to be some kind of sick joke. Oh no, it isn't. I'm changing the channel like how a normal person would. Okay, before I start uncontrollably destroying everything in sight, please tell me how this makes sense. Okay, so I'm just gonna lightly tap the salt shaker. Can someone help me? I've been stuck in this TV for 2 days. Why would you put him in the TV? Look, it was a good idea at the time.
Dude, how long has he
Cable
been in
TV
there?
is
He's
not
probably
cheap. I just
starving.
want
Get
free
him
TV.
out.
Crude animation. It's something that I basically grew up with ever since I was a little kid, and I'll always love it. Do you know what else I grew up with when I was a kid? Need for Speed Most Wanted. Oh my gosh, I basically did this whole segue to talk about something that wasn't even related. Alright, let's get the backstory out of the way. Criterion was basically told, hey, make a Need for Speed game or we're deleting you. So they just finished making Hot Pursuit, only had 2 years to create the sequel to Need for Speed Most Wanted, didn't get enough time to basically make it, so they was like, you know what, let's make Most Wanted an online focus game, and here we are. Need for Speed Most Wanted 2012, the most hated entry in the series. Whenever somebody tells me that they hate it, I just look at them and go, I know that they basically just threw this game together, but come on, look at these graphics. This is insane. This Need for Speed title is pretty different than the rest. It basically focuses on exploration and exploration. I mean, normally I'll be like everyone else and talk about the sound and design and all that, but it's Need for Speed, it's Criterion, these things are basically standard now. But okay, one thing that I'm not going to glaze over is the car selection. Like, check this out, alright? We have the Lancia HF Integrale. Do I have to keep going? No, but like, all jokes aside, this game kind of just opened my eyes when it came to the world of cars. I mean, one of the promises I made my mom was I was going to get her this exact Audi. I don't think she likes Audi, but I just thought that this car would fit her. One thing a lot of people don't talk about when it comes to this game is the soundtrack. Now, yeah, there are some songs of all time in there, but there's one particular song that I personally enjoy, and it's Butterflies and Hurricanes. And the game knows because it plays it whenever it gets the chance to. But yeah, no, this soundtrack's very nice. I'll probably give it like an 8 out of 10. Also, presentation in this game, it's actually really solid. The intros to the races, I mean, they're weird, but it's nice to have that in. I can't explain it, but it kind of gives the race an atmosphere. Even though there's no people in the city, it's just cars. I don't know how they managed to do that, but they managed to add an atmosphere to a race that has no atmosphere. And the Most Wanted intros really shine on this because it kind of gives you an insight on the car that you're about to race. Like, for example, the Lexus LFA, you see it with carbon wiring. It kind of gives like a blurb to the fact that, hey, this car is made out of carbon. Need for Speed, no, not Need for Speed. But yeah, when it comes to presentation, this game is actually really good. It still holds up today. But the one thing that this game does not hold up in is the controls. The PlayStation 3 or Xbox 360 version of the game has really good handling. Like, it's basically the same from Hot Pursuit, but on PC, that's a completely different story. There's this new thing, I'm not sure if you heard of it, but it's called, and it really sucks. For some reason, the bright minds at EA decided, hey, we should just release this game and have a huge amount of input lag. I mean, like over like 0.7 milliseconds of input lag. On a very fast-paced racing game, there are times where cars are just unplayable. You probably noticed that it didn't crash a lot of the time. I literally had to install mods that make the car stronger just so I could be able to complete races and get first place in them. It's that bad. Oh yeah, gameplay. We're 4 minutes and 30 seconds into the video and I really haven't explained it. Hey kid, let me tell you something. You're in this city. It's called Fairhaven. You don't know anybody and nobody knows you. In this city, it's kill or be killed. The only way for you to get reputation is by doing these races. And they pay pretty good. There's this currency called speed points. And if you build up enough of them, you're able to take out the most wanted. The 10 scariest racers in the city, and the city isn't betting on you to win. There's going to be a lot of obstacles that will stop you. The most wanted racers will try to take you out in any way, shape, or form in the race by driving better cars and doing dirty maneuvers. The police will constantly be on you. And don't get to Heat 6 because you're not ready for the SWAT. And don't think you're the only one trying to make it to the top. There's hundreds of others just like you. What makes you so different? But hey, you didn't get this information from me. But let me tell you something real quick. If you're able to take down the most wanted, shut their cars down, you get their cars for good. Sir, this is a Wendy. Yeah, that premise sounds very interesting. But the way that it was executed in this game, no. For starters, I just want to say that this game is ridiculously easy. The only time the game got really challenging was when you're Heat 6 and you're racing a most wanted car. But majority of the time, you can easily win races first try. Now, I really don't have an issue with the difficulty in this game, but it gets really annoying when you have to do these races to finally get enough speed points to finally race the most wanted cars. Now you're kind of just repeatedly winning races without any skill whatsoever. And the game hypes you up when you finally reach enough speed points to take down the most wanted. It's like, oh wow, you made it, and then you finally get into a race, and then it's ridiculously easy. Even when these most wanted cars be rubber banding, for some reason they just slow down at the last second. For some reason. And also the way that you get cars in this game is also kind of controversial because you can easily find a Ford GT and blast through the entire game. Also, there's no stakes in this game. You can keep crashing your car over and over and over and it will never break down or never get totaled. You can keep getting captured by the police and no money or no cars is taken from you. Honestly, this is truly a Need for Speed Sandbox game. And because of that, I kind of like it. There is literally nothing stopping you from creating your ultimate Need for Speed experience. Yeah, you can easily find a Ford GT, but that doesn't mean that you have to use it. You can still build up your cars, grind to get them. Just because you have the best thing available doesn't mean you have to use it. Also, something that I don't hear a lot when it comes to this game is it has insane replayability. There are 63 cars in this game, and if there's about 5 races per car, that's around 315 races that you could do in the game, and that's not including DLC. Now yeah, some cars share the same races, but it's not like the race that you do in car 1 transfers over to car 2. No, you have to do the race all over again. So that's 315 races that you get with the base game, more if you get DLC, and we're forgetting about the main selling point of this game. Online. Now, I really didn't get a lot of footage for online because the servers are kind of dead. I mean, who's playing Most Wanted online now? But from what I was able to remember, it was basically a whole bunch of mini games that you got to do with random people, and they were completely optional. You can just drive around the map, you know, just have fun, crash into each other. A quick word before I go. I know this game isn't perfect. There's a lot of bugs in this game. Sometimes the AI is just not the smartest, and sometimes the game just does that. But I'll always love this game because of not only what it did for me as a kid, but because of how fun it is. Modern Need for Speeds, you basically have to stick to a grid or stick to a story, but with this game you kind of get to do whatever you want. This is the first game I ever did a YouTube video on. This is the first game that I ever officially own. I bought with my own money. This is the first game that kind of opened my eye to a world bigger than just Nintendo. This is a game that opened my eyes to the world of automobiles. I'm a huge car guy. I mean, I don't have a lot of cars because I'm broke, but I find cars interesting, you know? And some car brands like Tesla, Lancia, or Koenigsegg, I did not know any of these brands before I played this game. So, do I think this game is overhated? Yes, I understand a lot of people's frustrations when they were promised a sequel to Most Wanted and got this game, but you also gotta remember that the developers are probably going through a lot, and this is when people really did care about video games. I mean, you see how much work they put into this thing with the limited time that they had. So even though this isn't Most Wanted 2, even though EA themselves has this game listed in 2005, I think they're confused too. This is probably the first and only Need for Speed Sandbox game. And if you can clear your mind with all the what ifs and what we were promised and things like that, I'm pretty sure you'll see that this is a decent game. Now, is it worth $20? I don't know, man.